Okay, we're just about ready for kick-off in today's match of the day, which is our first grade fixture, Adamstown Rosebud WPL versus Thornton Redbacks. Should be a cracker of a game. Northern New South Football reminds spectators, players, teams, officials and club officials of their obligation to strictly obey the SFA Spectator Code of Behaviour and Code of Conduct.
Good afternoon, and it's great to have your company this afternoon from Adamstown Oval as the Rosebuds host Thornton Redbacks in round 13 of the Herald Women's Premier League. And it may have been a rough season for both the Rosebuds and the Redbacks, but this afternoon provides another opportunity to take a step forward and build towards next season as both clubs continue to develop a crop of talented future stars. The Rosebuds have started the season slowly with 8 consecutive defeats, but 2 wins in their last 4 have bred confidence, and they'll be targeting consecutive WPL victories for the first time since 2017. Thornton, they're back in the top flight this year after a tumultuous 2018 campaign, which saw them leave the competition early, and while they began the season with a hefty run of losses as well, the first win of the season 3 weeks ago against Football Mid-North Coast has the Redbacks believing, and they'll be looking to make it 2 wins in their last 3 matches this afternoon. Adamstown come in on the back of that win over Football Mid-North Coast at Wayne Richards Park last weekend. They got the job done 1-0, and for Thornton, they lost to South Wallsend 5-1 away from home at Walker Field. Beautiful afternoon for football at Adamstown Oval. It's been a good afternoon for the Buds thus far. They've won the 3 previous fixtures, and it's sitting at 21 degrees, humidity 54%, so it was quite chilly this morning with the clouds burning away, which were across the sky for most of Saturday. Good to have a June long weekend with a bit of sunshine coming through. And it will be Adamstown, who are currently sitting in 6th place on the table, 3rd last in the 8-team competition. Thornton sitting rock bottom, but they're only 3 points adrift from the Rosebuds. So a win this afternoon. If they win by 2 goals, Thornton, they will overtake Adamstown. The question is, can they do it? Because they haven't beaten them in 14 matches these two have played in the Herald Women's Premier League. It's been Adamstown who have won, well, 13 of the 14 clashes, and there was a 0-0 draw back in 2015 at Thornton Park. So history is against the Redbacks, but they've been in good form, and they got their first win a few weeks ago. So confidence is high for them, and they'll be running from right to left of screen in this opening half with the red kit, black numbers, and the Rosebuds, of course. A famous club in Newcastle celebrating 130 years, and they're from left to right. We're underway in round 13 of the Herald Women's Premier League. Chris Turner, great to have you with me this afternoon. Can Adamstown make it 2 from 2 for the first time in 2 years? It's all 2s this afternoon.
Well, that's a big question, Bart, and good afternoon. And it's a pleasure being here at the women's football. I must say, I've been looking forward to it.
Especially with the FFA Cup yesterday, CT, and no NPL this weekend. It's been good to get out to Adamstown Oval. We both love this ground. It's a lovely spot, and great to have the WPL round 13. 6 matches during the regular season on Bar TV, and this one should be a real tight one between 2 sides with a lot of young players and a lot of players who are looking to build into prominent first graders in the coming years, because Adamstown have been rebuilding the last couple of years. Here's a neat turn from Isabel Luena. She looks forward and finds Josie Ray. And they'll be looking for Annika D'Amico and also Chelsea Lucas up front. Look for those two. Chelsea Lucas in 15. down this right flank for Adamstown. She's been in good form for the Buds. She scored actually against Thornton in round 6. These two met in round 6, and it was Adamstown who got the job done 3-2 on that evening. It was a wet weather catch-up match only about a month ago now. CT, just tell us, how are these two sides lining up from a tactical perspective? We might come back to that. Nice ball over the top from Elodie Dagg. Can Adamstown profit from it? Josie Ray. Back to Georgia Cook. Cook just dispossessed. Good strong tackle from Alexandria Field.
Well, Bart, it's a little bit hard to tell. The game's only just started. I'm going to guess both teams are going to go with a 4 at the back, so we'll just come back to that if that's all right. We'll wait till the game settles in and we see some formation. At the moment, can't quite pick it.
Well, here is an opportunity for Adamstown to open the scoring inside the opening couple of minutes. And just having an air swing, Imogen McGuinness. Great opportunity. And Grace Harvey, the Thornton goalkeeper, with a confidence-boosting grab.
Now, Bart, we almost had Damien Smith with us. He's had to pull out at the last minute. Would have been great to have his company this afternoon and share his wealth of knowledge. And he, like myself, got a long association and history with this ground here at Adamstown Rosebuds. We love coming here, as you mentioned. It's great to see the girls making the most of it.
Exactly, Riley Field. Now, Rosebuds with some space out here. Chelsea Lucas waiting alongside this right flank. One of the outlets for them. It's Thornton to push forward, and the ball going to trickle over the sideline for a Rosebuds throw. Yeah, Damien Smith on the text message. He's an absolute crack-up, CT. He's just unbelievable, and he's been missing a few matches this year for Bar TV, which has been very disappointing.
You could rephrase it and say he's been to a few this year.
he's been to less than, yeah. He's missed more than he has actually made, so we've got to stitch him up at some point. There's Georgia Hogg. Throw up the line, looking for Chelsea Lucas. This ball in towards the middle from McInnes. Now Thornton with some open passes through the midfield. Can they make something happen? Just a little air swing from Jasmine Hughes. Very young player. She was part of the grand final winning under-17 side. Won 2-0 against Wall's End last year. They came second in the regular season, 2-0 in the grand final, and she scored alongside Ainsley Childs, who's out there in 22 for Thornton. So have a look out for those two. Well, it is a little slippery out there with the wet weather we have witnessed over the last week. A couple of players from either side going down. Neat turn from Randall. She rolls one up the line too, Ainsley Charles. The youngster I was talking about. Just had her legs clipped there. And Isabella Luina knocking it forward. Finds McGuinness. She finds Jessica Terry. Was with Football Mid-North Coast last year. Here's Josie Ray. Scored her first WPL goal in round 9 against South Wall's End. Unable to keep it inside the line, but will be a Rosebuds throw. It's Ellie Cook. Just dispossessed Riley Field. Attempting to turn. Was Childs who profited. And now charging into some space. Sophie Milton rolling the ball forward. Some work to do for Olivia Snedden between the sticks for the Rosebuds. She was part of Valentine's 2015 grand final side. It was a classic grand final, that one, where Merriweather won 3-2 against the Phoenix. Olivia Snedden between the sticks for the Phoenix on that particular occasion. She was part of the Warners Bay squad who won the grand final in 2016. It's Talia Mountford getting a touch for Redbacks. And now Elodie Dagg just stabbing it up and over the top. And another chance here for Imogen McInnes. And she goes for goal. Not a bad effort. Grace Harvey looked to have it covered at the near post. Did well in the end, just to let that one sail wide.
I believe this is her first start of the season, Bart. She's been used, this is Imogen McGuinness I'm talking about, she's been used off the bench for first grade at 16 years old. So that's a great thing to have under your belt. And she's just competed for the Hunter Girls school team, which she made the final of the schools girls competition. So good effort from her.
Yeah, she's been a focal point up front to start this one. Elodie Dagg gets the touch through. Neat one-touch football from the Buds. There's Terry now, Ray. They turn it over. Dinked forward by Jasmine Hughes. And just dwelled on possession a little too long, Alexandria Field, and Rosebud's able to win back possession. And in the midfield, the player to look for the Rosebuds, Elodie Dagg in 7. She's the key for them, the skipper. And a great last name for football and commentary, Dagg, because it goes well with putting the dagger in and all that kind of thing, CT. So I just thought, as I was writing my notes, I thought that is a terrific last name for commentary, Elodie Dagg. 2 goals for her this season, and she did score in round 6 against Thornton. And she's also part of the 130th anniversary Rosebuds video that I've been putting together with Jack Antcliffe. Make sure you're there on the 22nd of June. You will be there, CT. Should be a great night. Yep,
I'm looking forward to that one. And Elodie is being described as she's got skill level. It's probably up there with the best in the competition. It's described by a coach, and she's got great creativity.
Well, she's been with the Rosebuds through the good times and now the tough times for them, when they were a semi-final threat constantly, winning the premiership as well a few years ago. As Luena on the turn, under some pressure from Talia Mountford. Thornton just getting some time in the final third here. This ball attempted to be rolled between the lines by Jasmine Hughes. And now the Rosebuds rushing forward.
Coming back to that formation, it looks like the Buds are on a 4-3-3. The line's got fairly clear there for a moment, so we can run with that one with the Buds, and we'll check out the Redbacks in a moment. Also,
McGuinness has passed back across the midfield, turned over. On the ball is Ellie Cook. Looking forward and central. And now Terry rolling it to McGuinness, and just in behind Chelsea Lucas. As I mentioned earlier, 4 goals this season. Lucy Morrison with the throw. Just sandwiched in there was Susan Randall. Adamstown and Thornton have had a tough run of it of late in the WPL. Adamstown, they've won just 4 of their last 29 matches in the WPL. For Thornton, they left the comp midway through last season. So in terms of completed seasons, the last 2.5 completed seasons, they've won 6 of their last 48. It's been a rough trot. That's a neat turn, but the touch was just a little too heavy from Sophie Milton. She's a very experienced player, number 4 for Thornton. So look for her for the Redbacks, and for Adamstown, as I said, Elodie Dagg. So those two are the key players in the middle of the park for either side. Jessica Terry, and ball is going to cross the line for a Redbacks throw.
And just a moment ago, the lines got clear for the Redbacks. So in terms of formation, we're going to run with them with a 4-4-2, unless we see something different. So it's like Rosebuds with a 4-3-3 and Thornton with a 4-4-2. Typically with that type of activity, you want some counterbalance. By that meaning, if you're going to have 4 in the middle of the park versus a 3, you need to be offsetting that with one of your strikers dropping in a little bit deeper so that you're not overloaded as an opposition in the middle of the park. But both teams seem to be managing that pretty well at the moment. It seems fairly balanced at this point in the game.
Well, it's expected to be an even contest. You just have to look at the scoreline in round 6, a 3-2 result to Adamstown. It just shows that strong contact there from Chelsea Lucas on Lauren Faulkner. Adamstown at home this year, winless, 6 matches played, 6 wins, just 4 goals in those 6 matches, so that's where they have struggled. There's Isabella Luena with the header away, back in the WPL after a 4-year absence. And she's going to be very important in the back line for Adamstown as she gives away a free kick. I don't know if I'd call that a commentator's curse, CT. I don't know if I was praising her. I was just talking about how important a player she was, and goes in and gives away the foul. So Thornton with the free kick just inside the corner flag, basically a corner, you could say. So they would have worked on this a fair bit, you would think. There's the free kick from Lucinda Morrison. Well dealt with at the near post by the Rosebuds. And they're going to win a throw, so I'll get another chance. I should say Ainsley Childs with the throw back to Faulkner. Returns the favour, but couldn't control in the shadows of the fig tree at Adamstown Oval. Adamstown haven't won here at Adamstown Oval, or haven't actually won a home match in almost 2 years. 2017, the last time they won here at Adamstown Oval, and that was against Thornton. 6-1. They beat the Redbacks on that afternoon. And Thornton, they haven't won a match away from home in a couple of years either. That was actually their last win away from home was a week before that clash with Adamstown I was talking about in 2017. They won 1-0 against South Wallsend. Christy Martin with the goal. So if we don't have a draw this afternoon, we will have one of those runs ended. Ainsley Childs finding some speed down this left edge. Came off the back of Ellie Cook. Well done by the Rosebuds defender. Now Chelsea Lucas and Elodie Dagg just got in each other's way there. Lauren Faulkner got across well for the Redbacks. And Lucas just slipped, and we've seen a few players, CT, slip out there. It is tough because it's been wet this week, and while it has been sunny today, it's just dried out enough, but you sense there's still, it's a little slippery underfoot. The mud hasn't quite dried totally.
Yeah, well, wouldn't be calling it mud, Bart, but it's
I'm just
certainly
saying the soil.
The surface is a little slippery. Yeah, it certainly is under the foot, and you can see that. There's a few of the players slipping here and there and under a bit of pressure and tend to slide a bit more, and over they go. So,
and no, there is no mud, I would say. And to the Adamstown Oval curator, they do a terrific job with this ground, and it's in wonderful nick.
We can single out Andy Stankovic for that. He's done a terrific job keeping this ground, he and others, keeping this ground in great shape.
So the Redbacks with the throw. And Chelsea Lucas cutting it out mid-flight. Faulkner going to track back, but she'll let it trickle over the line. It will be a Redbacks throw in. So the Redbacks starting the season with 10 consecutive defeats, but victory in round 11 a few weeks ago against Football Mid-North Coast. And the confidence-boosting part of that, CT, is they got the job done 3-0. They keep a clean sheet at home, building plenty at the midway point of the season, because you don't want to go past the halfway point, having played everyone and lost everyone.
No, not in any sport. So, you could see, I just briefly went into both dressing rooms prior to the game, just getting some lineups, names to numbers, and you could see the both sides were very enthusiastic and keen to get out there. So, obviously means a lot to them to get a victory today.
Well, we're inside the first quarter hour, and Adamstown with their first corner of the afternoon. Can they make something happen here? Josie Ray with the duties here. It's a low ball in towards Chelsea Lucas at that near post. Thornton dealt with it. And you probably want a time over again there. Josie Ray looking up his field, trying to slide it between the lines towards McGuinness, and she's going to win the ball back here, Riley Field. Looks up and just saw Grace Harvey and decided to take on the strike, but Harvey was awake to any kind of danger. She kept her first clean sheet of the season in that win over Football Mid-North Coast. And CT, how good's this? Grace Harvey scored a goal in 2015 in the under-16s. Now, I'd love to know whether that was from goalkeeper or whether she was an outfield player back then.
Maybe a penalty even.
Exactly. Now some space aplenty down the left flank for the Rosebuds. Touch in there from just Terry, took it away from goal, and now Thornton with some space ahead of Alexandria Field. Ellie Cook did well defensively. And Cook is, well, done pretty well in the end. Wonderful defending. She's kept it inside the line. Rolls it up to Terry.
So I did a little bit of research on the Thornton Redbacks, Bart, and found out that they communicate in a special way. Do you know how that is?
Are you saying how Redbacks communicate? Is that what you're saying, Sergio?
Yeah.
I would love to know how is it telepathy or?
No, it's through the World Wide Web.
Oh my God. Yep.
I wish Smudge was here because he'd love that. But back to the game.
That is an absolute shocker. Josie Ray into the box, trying to light up Adamstown Oval. And it trickles back to Georgia Cook, I should say. Here's Luena. And she's really hooked that one back, giving Georgia Hogg some work to do. Former emerging Jet. Now Olivia Snedden. So she's been with Valentine, she's been with Warners Bay as well, and Adamstown since 2017. Very experienced goalkeeper for Adamstown between the posts. Now Elodie Dagg, I'll link it back to Hogg. Morrison with the throw. She got some power behind it as well. Now Susan Randall beating Luena for pace. And she hook her run into the box. The two number 20s against each other.
Like that run of Randall there. She showed plenty of speed and determination down the left-hand side. Had one eye on the prize and the other on the player. Came together and...
You're saying no free kick?
No free kick. I'm happy with that decision. It's just... like the way that Randall went about that run. Look forward to seeing more of those as the game progresses.
So Thornton just unable to keep that ball inside the line. Lauren Faulkner has been with the Redbacks since 2015. Up through the youth grades as well, a lot of these players. There's only one player out there who has played for both clubs, and that is Nat Wiseman. She's on the bench for Adamstown. So we'll get to have a look at what she's got to offer in the second half, you'd think. Paul DeVitis, the Adamstown coach, when he looks to go to his bench. To turn and try to push that ball inboard, did McInnes. Now the captain, Jen Youngblood.
We did get to have a chat last night to Paul DeVitis after the Hamilton Olympic clash against the Bangalore Blue Dogs over at the regional facility.
And so he's connected with Hamilton in the NPL and Adamstown in the WPL. And for those viewers who aren't from the region, well, Adamstown and Hamilton, their home grounds are what? A kilometre apart? A kilometre and a half? It's not far at all. It would take me about not long to run between the two grounds.
So despite the position on the table for Adamstown, he's very enthusiastic about the squad that he's got and very, very keen on the skills of the individuals within it. And continually working on improvement of the game.
And you can see it's working because 2 wins in their last 4. Win over Thornton and then Football Mid-North Coast last week, and that came on the back of 2 hefty defeats, 7-0 against New Lambton and then 6-0 to Merriweather United. And with the WPL, there's a big gap between the top 4. Walls End are probably in a league of their own at this point of the season, and then the bottom 3. So there are some hefty score lines, and it must be tough as a coach. I want to ask you about how you deal with that as we see Imogen McInnes with a neat turn. Youngblood got a toe in there. Thornton skipper. And now Thornton's some space in front of them. Is that ball overhit? Probably, and Olivia Seddon comes out and grabs it in. Just tell me how you deal with big defeats. How do you inspire the side when they're down the bottom of the table and have been whacked a few times this year?
Yeah, well, different coaches deal with things different ways. I'll come back.
Josie Ray running into some open space down the left edge. Really good defensive work there from Alyssa Hall, getting back and knocking it over for a corner. She showed really good toe to keep up with Josie Ray.
So one of the techniques that I like to use is just giving the players a couple of days to get over it. And typically training on a Tuesday night, that's when you readdress it, and probably a chat before training starts.
The corner kick hung up towards Chelsea Lucas. Well, she was collected in the box. No whistle from the referee.
Great attempt there from Lucas. She really did have a full attempt at that. So yeah, addressing what went wrong before training starts, and just hitting the reset button and making a session a really tough one to send a message out that, all right, we're not happy with that as we see Lucas again.
Well, this is much better from the Rosebuds. And now Lucas across goal. Youngblood dealt with it well. Adamstown just finding their groove all of a sudden. Georgia Hogg swinging it in, up it rises, and in the end it's come off Alyssa Hall and taken nicely, and she is struggling. Or was she struck by the ball or collected by someone else? It doesn't look good here. Maybe
sure.
Alan Primmer, the Redbacks coach, could be forced into an early change.
Yeah, so just finishing that off. So you really want to get the players to reset in their minds. Playing at that level, you're going to have good quality footballers in your side, and having that ability to leave it behind you and look for what's coming up next. Where it gets tougher is if you've got a couple of defeats in a row, and then that's when things get a little tougher, and maybe group discussions work well in that scenario.
Great to have your company wherever you are watching on Bar TV this afternoon, on the Herald Women's Premier League Facebook page, or on YouTube as well. In this WPL clash, Adamstown Rosebud 6th on the table, Thornton in 8th in last place, but a win for the Redbacks this afternoon. If they win by 2, they will leapfrog Adamstown, and most likely they'll probably jump off the bottom of the table because Football Mid-North Coast have got a tough match against Wall's End, and they've been struggling of late. So I'll wait and see what the result is here. So,
well, we've just got half a second, Bart. A little bit more of the research. What do you call a big Irish spider? Paddy Longlegs.
Are you just pulling all the Redbacks jokes? I want to hear a Rosebud joke, but let's leave that for quite a while because we need a break between jokes. Grace Harvey launches one up the ground. Bounces in the middle of Adamstown Oval. Luena on the turn, rolling it out wide to Georgia Cook, who's been with Valentine and Warners Bay previously before joining the Rosebuds in 2017. Grace Harvey, she's been with Thornton since 2015. She's going to neatly curl that one with the outside of her boot, but straight onto the head of Chelsea Lucas. On the turn is Childs. Looking for her under-17s grand final winning teammate, Jasmine Hughes, but it was just overhit. And their fellow teammate, Kirsty Powell-Walford, not in the side this afternoon. Adamstown, can they find an opening? Been looking good lately. Here's Cook, across the face, and another corner on the way for Adamstown. So Alyssa Hall just getting herself all sorted. And she's back out there, which is good to see. Adamstown with the corner. Elodie Dagg couldn't control on the first attempt, and Sophie Milton pushes the pass to Randall, who were very impressed with inside the opening 15 minutes, showing some speed down the left edge for Thornton. Here she is again. She's a pocket rocket, is Susan Randall. She plays it forward to Mountford and makes the run. She has got some edge, but that is a wonderful tackle from Georgia Hogg. And now Milton wins it back for Thornton. Olivia Snedden will come out of the 18-yard box. And Adamstown have some time here. Giving away the ball again is Hughes. In a duel for the moment with Cook. Here's a throw going the way of the Redbacks. No goals as yet. 12 goals Thornton have scored this season. Second worst attack in the league. Adamstown have scored a couple more, 14. And here's the ball from Randall up and over the top. It was almost a chip and chase. Olivia Snedden awake to the danger. Both sides have conceded 55, so they are susceptible at the back. And that's where both coaches will be looking to tidy up the game in the back end of the season, because really your structure is built on your defence, isn't it, CT?
Yeah, it is. That's absolutely certain. And if you get that right, generally, like foundations of a house, rock solid. So a lot of coaches start working on that.
Well, there's a neat back heel from Elodie Dagg, and maybe they just weren't on the same page there, because if someone was running through, and I know Imogen McGuinness made the run late, but if she was going a little earlier, big chance was on the way there for Adamstown.
Yeah, it certainly was an intentional ball through, and Dagg did very well to get it to where it goes. They're the ones where we're expecting your teammates to be flowing through where you can, and maybe they just didn't read her on that occasion.
Dagg's first time touched straight into the path of Randall. And just tell me, as a former NPL coach, CT, is it easier to coach defence than attack? Or is that a myth? Because I've heard a few coaches say it lately. Defence, it's easier to coach than attack. Is that true, or is that not right?
Oh, I think probably you talk to different coaches, you're going to get different things. But if you're going to be coaching defence, there's a lot more to it than just tackling. So, there's a lot of things about your shape and structure and how you're holding, formation when you're being dragged out of position by attackers genuinely trying to drag you out of line, so it's creating holes for other people. So there's quite a bit in there.
It's cleaned up by Lucy Morrison on the byline. This ball cut across the face of goal, and they just got in each other's way in the end. The Redbacks, it was Milton and also Jasmine Hughes, but all's well that ends well as they rush forward.
And the other part of that, but it's about coaching defence, is that the defence is a big part of the attack. So all of those players will play a part in the attacking motion on the park. So as crazy as that may sound to some, it's certainly part of the modern day game where everyone's involved in attack and defence. So when they turn over quickly, how you are able to go from attack into a defence, and some teams have an attacking formation, some then when they turn the ball over have a different formation and a pattern they sit into when they defend.
Adamstown at the back through Ellie Cook. Now Luina, well, an error, and almost pouncing on it was Childs. Young blood. It's been a rock at the back for Thornton. And now McGuinness. Almost some space there for Jess Terry. Now Thornton speeding away down the far side. Ball across the face, and Cook knocks it over the sideline. Coming into this one, Adamstown had won 7 consecutive matches in the WPL against Thornton. That's dating back to 2015. The last time Thornton got something out of a match against Adamstown was a 0-0 draw at Thornton Park, round 16 in 2015. They're doing well at the moment, very even contest. Round 13 of the Herald Women's Premier League on Bar TV Sports. 6th place Adamstown Rosebud up against the last place Thornton Redbacks. Two young sides looking to chalk up another win this afternoon as Chelsea Lucas brought to ground. There's Faulkner across there. And now Mountford bearing down on goal. Snedden was out quickly. Sweeper keeper in action. And now some space for Lucas. There are players aplenty in the middle. Jess Terry is there, and Lucas just overhit it, but it will fall for Josie Ray. Time to pick her spot, and she just pushes it wide. Great opportunity there for Adamstown to open the scoring. Josie Ray scored her first WPL goal in round 9 against South Wallsend. Almost had her second there. She had enough time. She was probably disappointed because she had a lot of space there and just pushed it to the right of goal. Thornton get away with one. Now Adamstown just with the momentum momentarily. Faulkner looks to stymie that. Hold to McGuinness. And now Terry between the lines. Youngblood saw the danger in Elodie Dagg. Stepped up. Riley Field. Across to Josie Ray, who had that chance a couple of moments ago. Knocks the ball back in towards the middle. McGuinness couldn't win the header, but it may fall for the Buds here. Fortuitous, and Terry has pushed it up and over the bar. Great chance for Jess Terry to score her first of the season on the volley. Would have been a special effort. In the end, it remains 0-0 as we head towards half-time. Towards the final 10 minutes of this opening half. Those earlier scores today in the 14s, Adamstown 3-0 over Thornton, the 17s 7-0, the Buds over the Redbacks, and then in reserve grade 3-1, Adamstown beating Thornton. 0-0 here in this crucial first grade clash. Elodie Dagg tried to fire that one low and hard straight into Sophie Milton. Luena. Chipping it up and over the top and ensuring Faulkner has some work to do. Just clash shins with Chelsea Lucas. Two sides who have struggled to score goals in this setting. Adamstown struggled to score at home. Thornton, similar case, away from home, have scored 3 goals in 6 away matches. Adamstown 4 goals in 6 matches at home. And it's seeming difficult at this point. Georgia Cook. Youngblood in the way. The Thornton captain again, stepping up out of the line. Now Riley Field. Now Elodie Dagg. Sending Jess Terry on her way down towards the corner flag. She will track that one inside the line. Has some time again to pick the pass towards Josie Ray. Youngblood again. Stepping forward. Thornton look to release the pressure, which Adamstown is applying to them at the moment. Luena. And now Lucas well brought down. First touch was superb. Then came up, looked maybe off the arm of Faulkner. And over the line for a Rosebud's throw, so it's all Adamstown at the moment. Most of the possession and territory down this Redbacks end of the ground. McGuinness scored 29 goals in the lower grades, the 16s and the 20s over the last 2 seasons. Hasn't scored in the WPL, but you would think she would not be far away. 14 goals last year in the under-20s competition. She's looked willing in the final third. A youngster who's been playing for the Hunter girls team in the schools competition. Luena riding a challenge of Randall. Now a really good turn from Josie Ray, who is bearing down on goal. Another opportunity for Ray, and she fires it straight at Grace Harvey. She's had a good opportunity again there. Just couldn't pick the spot away from the Thornton custodian. Took the final touch off Adamstown's Georgia Hogg, so the Redbacks with a throw, and finally they get to some possession down the other end of Adamstown Oval. Randall on the spin, and Mountford putting the pressure on, so we'll get another throw here, Thornton. I'd love nothing more to pinch one here against the run of play. Just change the outlook of this one. Randall squaring it up. Fell back for the shot from Jasmine Hughes, who may get another bite at the cherry here. Hall picked up by Cook against the sideline. And Josie Ray, she's got plenty of toe, but that ball just overhit a little too far ahead of her. And Jen Youngblood knocking it towards the sideline. Josie Ray again. She's been so busy in the last few minutes, but again, Youngblood making herself big. The Rosebuds make something happen here just before the interval. Not on this occasion. Youngblood again. And now Randall. Dad got a boot up. And that pass overhit. Searching for Ainsley Childs. 32 goals in 22 matches last year in the under-17s competition. The leading goal scorer. They won 2-0 against Wallsend in the grand final. They finished second in the premiership race, winning the grand final over the Red Devils. And now up into the first grade side. Terrific to see. Milton knocks it wide, and the run is coming from Field. Squaring it up towards Mountford, and Adamstown deal with it well. Thornton with a few half opportunities. Now some space again for the Redbacks down the far side of the ground. Here's another corner. Alan Primmer, their coach, very pleased with their attack on that occasion. They've been good down the flanks. Plenty of speed. And now Jasmine Hughes. Speaking of that under-17 grand final, 16 goals for her last season. She scored in that grand final. 16 goals in 24 matches. So two strikers who kept finding the back of the net on regular occasions last year, and they've been finding the back of the net for Thornton in first grade as well, making a step up. Here's the turn from Cook, but it has crossed the stripe, so Thornton with the throw. Hughes, the one goal this season, scored last week against South Wallsend, her first goal in the top flight. And Ainsley Childs, 3 goals in her last 5 matches. So she's in a purple patch of form. So Alyssa Hall with the throw. Goes short to Hughes. And then Field trying to get a toe in down towards the corner flag. Field unable to keep that one inside the line. Round 13 of the Herald Women's Premier League on Par TV Sports this afternoon. Ben Homer with you alongside Chris Turner. 6th place Rosebuds against the 8th placed Thornton Redbacks. Both sides looking to end a record of, well, for Adamstown, 2 years without a win here at Adamstown Oval, and for Thornton, 2 years without a win away from home. Their only win this season coming in round 11 against Football Mid-North Coast. That was a few weeks ago now. 1-0 result. It's Youngblood. Controlled nicely. Snapped it up and over the top. Randall got ahead to it. She's going to follow through, but the free kick, well, maybe an opportunity to play advantage. It wasn't played, and free kick is going to go the way of the Redbacks anyway, but Susan Randall was probably hoping that advantage was played by the official because she was potentially in on goal, but it will be Ainsley Childs who will stand over this free kick, and we'll see what she's got from the set piece as Olivia Snedden sets up her wall. Here's the strike straight into the wall, and it will be a penalty to Thornton. It's hit an arm, and the Redbacks will go to the spot with a chance to open the scoring at Adamstown Oval. And you would say this would be against the run of play. And it's Ainsley Childs who's going to step up, their leading goal scorer. And they've all come in her last 5 matches. 3 goals in her last 5, remembering she scored 32 in 22 last year in the under-17s. So can she make it 4 goals in 6? No, she can't. The experienced Olivia Snedden with a super save to her left. Too good, the Adamstown goalkeeper. And that's why she's one of the best in the competition. And the young Ainsley Childs denied from the spot. They'll have to be mentally strong here. Thornton after that golden opportunity to go ahead, and now Chelsea Lucas profiting from a bit of confusion from the Redbacks in defence. Youngblood was not confused at all, straight across and knocking it towards the sideline. Faulkner couldn't keep it inside. Throw to Adamstown. Match just coming to life all of a sudden. Faulkner nods it over the sideline. Dag. Away from Childs. Could be a little deflated after that missed penalty, and then Chelsea Lucas. That duel's going to be fascinating between herself and Youngblood, and they're going to just go to the goal kick. Going to go to the edge of the 6-yard box, Grace Harvey. In a tangle with Chelsea Lucas was Jen Youngblood. Come out off the Adamstown player last. It's a touch up and over the top, straight to Ellie Cook. And now Georgia Cook. Angling the pass across the ground, but Randall has done a good job to get back. Now Chelsea Lucas was riding that challenge. And will get the throw because it's come out last off Lauren Faulkner. Ball took a very low bounce off the grass. Hit a very fluffy spot. And now Grace Harvey will gobble that one up. Georgia Hogg with that ball a little too close. Former emerging Jet. He's been with the Rosebud since 2016. Talia Mountford just couldn't get a boot to it, but Susan Randall, she's been so impressive for Thornton thus far. And now Field. Can she put in a ball across the face? That is a decent effort. And it's landed on top of the crossbar. Maybe a half cross, half shot. And Olivia Snedden was just off her line, and, well, she's probably a little unfortunate, Alexandria Field, not to have scored her first goal in the WPL. Just didn't dip enough. is Dag. Looking forward to find Terry. Rolled into the pass of Randall. She's been a big part of everything good that Thornton have done this afternoon. So it rolls wide to Josie Ray. And now here's Elodie Dag. And that will do us for the opening 45 minutes at Adamstown Oval. A very even match, as we expected, between 6th and 8th on the table. And it was Adamstown who had the early chances. Thornton fought back, and they probably had the best chance to go ahead from the penalty spot after the free kick from Ainsley Childs hit the wall. It was handballed inside the box. Childs went to the spot, and Olivia Snedden, the Adamstown goalkeeper, very experienced, she stood tall to her left, made the save, and ensured at half-time at Adamstown Oval, it's Adamstown Rosebud 0, Thornton Redbacks 0. And we'll be back in 10.
The second half should be an absolute cracker. Adamstown would like to remind you that there is no alcohol to be brought into the ground. We do have a bar. The Buds Bar is open there down in front of their barbecue hut. So if you want to pop along to the canteen and get yourself your voucher, you can go down there, and they've got a selection of beer, wine and some ciders and Canadian clubs. So go down there, enjoy something delicious to eat from the canteen and help yourself to a beverage if you're over 18, of course. A big thank you to our two ball girls, Caitlin and Bethany, who are doing a fantastic job out there. Thank you for giving up their Sunday to come and do the ball girl duties. They've been there for the reserve grade and again for first grade. So they're doing a fantastic job. Thanks, Caitlin and Bethany. They're from our junior team, so it's great to see them here. If you want to hear for our previous games, the 14 girls ran out 3-0 winners this morning. The 17s had a 7-0 win, and reserve grade had a real arm wrestle of a game, but ran out 3-1 winners in that one. So some fantastic games today, and it's an absolute pleasure always to play on Adamstown number 1. And thank you to the senior men for providing it for us in such great condition. It really is a pleasure to play here all the time, and they're very cooperative. We thank them. Adamstown has a number of great sponsors. Our major sponsors are the Blackbutt Hotel. And tonight, if you want to watch the Matildas game at 9 o'clock, the Blackbutt Hotel is keeping their dining room open till 9, and they'll have the game on the big TV up there. So a great place to go for dinner and to enjoy watching the Matildas game. Grill Katara provides everybody in the club, so that's about 400 people, with one of her awesome effort awards, which means they can go and get themselves a free burger from Grill Katara. We also have Top Juice Katara. She provides every player in the club with a top teamwork award, and the same thing, they can go in and get themselves some free stuff from Top Juice Katara. So thank you to those three major sponsors here at the club. We have a number of other sponsors too. Of course, we have our team sponsors. Our Everything Football team is our under-17 girls, who are also sponsored by Cornerstone. Under 14 girls have Cornerstone and Ceramex Tiling and Waterproofing Solutions. Our senior squad is sponsored by the Blackbutt Hotel and Next Gen Physio at Nakara, who provides the lovely Nicole for all of our games. We have some matchday sponsors, the Village Newcastle, which you'll find in Beaumont Street in Hamilton. The Fresh Ingredient at Georgetown provides our fruit for the girls before, during and after the games. Piggott's Pharmacy, 5 outlets here in the Hunter and 1 up at Frankston. So Piggott's Pharmacy for local caring service. The Sharp Bricklaying, so if you need a house built or a wall built or something along that line, Louis the man to see for that. His number's there in the program. Alloy Tie and Salon West Hairdressers at New Lambton are sponsors of our 14 girls team. And Alloy Tie has easily the best tie this side of Bangkok. So Shane and Jessica and Jerry are football tragics, and they love to get people in there and chat about football while they're serving them their delicious food. If you need a cut, colour, perm, hair straightening, whatever you need done, Salon West Hairdressers at New Lambton, right opposite West, are the people to see. We have some individual player sponsors. So for the reserve grade team, Piper Richards is sponsored by Buxton Cummings Campbell Accountants and Oracle Advisory Group. Georgina Markovich, Hayes Insulation, Samara Witten, Celebrations at Bonnells Bay, Nicole Clifton, BMC Energy Systems, Mel Wild, Visionary Health Compounding Chemist in Hamilton. In 17s we have Charlie O'Connor, the Blackbuck News Agency, Jessica Bowman, Adams Family Meats at New Lambton, Alexandra Tagarulius, Safe Power Safety Systems, Finley Woodford, LJ Hooker Hamilton, and Kirsten Woodford Photography. And if you ever go onto our WPL page on Facebook, you'll see some fantastic action shots provided by Kirsten Woodford on there. Riley Gardner, in 17s, Attune Health Centre at Waters Bay, and in 14 girls, Annalee McDermott Maynard, sponsored by Williams Artisan Bread and Espresso in Elder Street, Lambton, and Chloe Algie, HK Powder Coating. So thank you to all those wonderful sponsors, and of course to the overall sponsor of the Women's Premier League, and that is the Newcastle Herald. They've been right with us since day one, and we really do appreciate their ongoing support. They have some fantastic articles in there in support of women's football. They've been giving the Matildas some great coverage, and that should be a really exciting game today, or tonight, against Italy over there in France. And we do have a couple of locals in that game, Gemma Simon, who plays for South Wallsend Wolves, and of course Emily Van Egmond, who's played in Germany and different overseas. She plays in America. So it's great to have those girls, and we're all looking forward, of course, to seeing Sam Kerr in action. So don't forget the Matildas are on tonight, 9 o'clock, and if you want to go and have a great dinner before and watch it on the big screen, you can do that at the Blackbuck Hotel.
Welcome back to Adamstown Oval, round 13 of the Herald Women's Premier League, and it is the Rosebuds who are going to get us underway in the second 45 minutes, 0-0 at half
So we're
time.
ready now for the second half of today's main game.
And we are not too far away. Don't know, there was a problem with the net. That's the reason why we've got a lengthy stoppage. Was at the southern end of Adamstown Oval. CT is going to do a CSI investigation and explain it to us. He's been out to check it. And Rosebuds from right to left get us underway in year 130, Adamstown. So it was Ellie Dag who's given away possession to Ainsley Childs. CT, very even opening half. Do you see a goal in this second half? Two sides who have struggled to score in matches this season.
We almost had one via a penalty in the first half. As close as we got. However, as the games go on, typically players, as they fatigue a little bit, particularly back in the back 20 minutes, last 20 minutes of the game is where things open up, and potentially that's what's going to happen here.
And it was a good save, wasn't it, from Olivia Snedden between the posts for Adamstown on the penalty of Ainsley Childs.
The issue wasn't actually with the net, Bart. It was actually with the top left-hand corner of the goal mouth.
Strike from Mountford. So, yeah, what was the issue? Here's a strike from Randall, which is just going to fade wide. You can see that. What was the... Yeah, I'll let you explain.
There was a spider web there, and no one's cleaned it out yet.
Yeah, I'm not going to believe that. But they were inspecting the left-hand corner. There wasn't a spider web, but... Yeah, I know your Redbacks
potentially
jokes.
a Redback.
Redbacks jokes are coming out thick and fast. So Olivia Snedden. I just try not to laugh anymore, so it doesn't encourage you. Picked up on it over the top by Josie Ray, who was really impressive in the first 45 minutes. And down the left edge, she had some chances. One of those she put wide, the other one she struck straight and hard at Grace Harvey. So the ball crosses the line. And CT, I can tell you, and on the Hunter Football podcast every week, I know you listen to it quite regularly. We discuss the WPL, New FM, and also the NPL. And one thing I've been excited about this year is the lack of draws in the WPL. There has not been a draw through 13 rounds. Now, at the moment, we're heading towards our first draw in the competition. And that's going to mess with my brain a little bit because I just liked going up in threes and the way the table was working out. But at the moment, could be heading for a point apiece for the first time this year as Riley Field rolls it up the line towards Chelsea Lucas.
I'm not sure, Bart. I can feel a goal coming on here.
Here's Elodie Dag hooking one in, and Grace Harvey took it well under some pressure from McGuinness. Question is, CT, which end is the goal going to come at? If I was going to predict, I would probably say Adamstown. They've had the best chances as Verity Norris, the referee, gets into the action. Adamstown with the, more of possession in the opening half, but Thornton with the best chance via the penalty. It's funny how football works, really. Most other sports, that kind of domination would result in one side being a long way ahead. But that's why we love the sport. Is Chelsea Lucas bearing down on goal. 4 goals already this season, and she's pushed that one just to the left. And that, you would say, is Adamstown's best opportunity to open the scoring. She couldn't make it 5 for the season.
Well, it's a big opportunity there for Lucas. He did all of the right things, except for the final stage, just finding somewhere inside the sticks. Broke through the lines really well. Found herself in front of goals, but just couldn't hit the target on that occasion. But that's what she's capable of. We've seen her in action in the first half, and as I said, Bart, I feel like there's a goal coming on.
Yeah, and she scored against Thornton in round 6, so likes playing against the Redbacks. Randall searching for Mountford, falls for Milton. Very compressed in the middle third of the park. Georgia Cook gets it up. Neat little volley forward, and McGuinness couldn't nick in there just in front of Youngblood. And now here is Ainsley Childs, and she got absolutely floored by Olivia Snedden. Now, will that be a penalty? Out comes the yellow card. Was that inside the box or out of the box? That was a rocking blow from Snedden. I thought it was a game of rugby league, CT. That was incredible. And are they going to go to the spot again here? They will. It was inside the box.
Do you know that that's something you'd see from Tyler Warren from Hamilton Olympic in the NPL? He comes out like that. More clumsy than anything, but on that occasion.
So, and this is the issue. Ainsley Childs, who's just been bent over, is now taking the penalty. And Snedden saves again. 2 penalties, 2 saves from Olivia Snedden.
Well, you've got to say that save from Snedden was high quality, stretching far to the right just to get fingertips on as the ball's delivered into the box.
And now the header from Hughes. Powerful, but not on target. So Adamstown again get away with one. And Snedden makes up for her mistake. And Verity Norris is having a chat now to the Rosebud's goalkeeper. That was some collision. Snedden, he saved the Rosebud's bacon. Well, he'd saved on the first occasion. She saved her own bacon on the second occasion, because it was her mistake which resulted in the second chance from the spot. And let's talk about confidence. Ainsley Childs, she's had 2 penalties, and she struck them pretty well, to be honest. Both heading towards the corner of the goal. Not right in the corner, but they're on target. And they're not straight down the middle, and Snedden has saved both of them. How do you deal with that as a player and also as a coach, trying to make sure that Ainsley Childs doesn't lose too much confidence, because she's a young lady, and you would hate to see her be battered over both of those saves, because she'd be devastated with herself at the moment.
Well, she would be, but you just get up and take the next one, as a player. Maybe today you've had 2, you haven't got either. You leave it and you pick that up at training and just get your confidence back there, or just get them on target. But don't take anything away from the 2 saves that have occurred. They've both been very, very good, as we see.
Well, Luena has just absolutely blasted that one down the ground, and Grace Harvey did tremendously well to stop Chelsea Lucas bearing down on goal. Got a boot out, stopped the ball in its tracks, and it will be Thornton keeper who launches it. Jasmine Hughes on the bounce. Cook got a body in the way, and he's going to continue the run. Georgia Cook, allowed to by Josie Ray. It's going to break down, though, in the final third. Luena, and here is Randall. She deserves a goal for all her effort, and it's off the bar. Well, how have Thornton not scored? Off the bar for the second time this afternoon. They've had 2 penalties. And Alan Primer will be thinking he walked under a ladder yesterday. What is going on?
I'd like to see the replay. We don't have the option for that, but it may. You just don't know whether it actually crossed the line. A bit hard to pick from here, is it?
We had that kind of drama yesterday in the FFA Cup, where Boambi probably had 2 goals that were not awarded, where the ball crossed the line. It's very hard for an assistant referee to be up in line when they're also covering the last defender. I'm not going to blame the assistant referee, because they've got 1,000 things to worry about. But of course, we can't have goal line technology, and you couldn't have a referee on the line. It's just too expensive at the local level, so it's really tough. Those close ones. As Randall, the ball will deflect into the path of Ainsley Childs, who strikes on goal, and there's a problem here for Susan Randall, which would be terrible to see her go off, because she has been close to the best player on the park, and she deserved a goal, didn't she, CT, hitting that strike off the bar?
She did. It was a terrific strike, and as you described her earlier in the piece, as the pocket rocket. Having a great game for the Redbacks. They will not want to lose her.
And maybe a head clash. As we said, don't have a look at replays. They've been in the wars, the Redbacks players of late. Now, I just wanted to ask you, Ainsley Childs gets levelled, and then she steps up to take the penalty. Should have someone else taken the penalty? She's just trying to get her breath back after just being basically smacked into the turf of Adamstown Oval. Should someone else take the penalty in that situation?
Well, not necessarily. I guess there's probably a fair bit of adrenaline going on, but she's going to know her body better than anyone else, and if she's physically not hurt, there's no reason why she doesn't take it. She struck the first penalty well, and the second one even better. 2 great saves.
Yeah, and that was the thing. The second penalty was very well struck for a player that had just been whacked into the turf.
Let's have a look at Randall.
This would be a huge loss if she had to leave the park. Is it a cork? Is it
certainly walking gingerly.
Now we don't have...
She seems to be walking a little free.
Is she trying to get her breath back? That's how I'm...
Yeah, I'm not sure. I think maybe she's going to have a bit of a rest and come back on.
If we had physio Damien Smith here, he would know in an instant.
Well, Smudge would say she's putting weight through her feet, so that's a good sign.
It's a pretty obvious statement, isn't it?
Well, it is, but she's not limping. She's walking it out. So, look, my guess is she'll be back.
I thought you were going to say she's standing up, so that's a good sign. That's something Smudge would say. Oh, here's Ainsley Childs.
He may be a qualified physio, but he's certainly not on the tools.
Elodie Dagg. Angling the run inboard. Is there an opportunity on its way here? Elodie Dagg struck it nicely. Too much power, though. And they're applauding that attacking run, the Rosebud. So Randall is back out there, but limping heavily. Well, she was. Looks to be running a little freer now. Round 13 of the Herald Women's Premier League on Bar TV Sports this afternoon. Ben Homer and Chris Turner with you in commentary at Adamstown Oval. Lovely ground. The Rosebuds haven't won here in almost 2 years. Can they do it this afternoon? They probably should be behind at this point as we see Annika D'Amico head out there, the 22. Scored 4 goals this year. Equal leading scorer with Chelsea Lucas. And Imogen McGuinness has been very, very good this afternoon. Deserved a goal herself for all her effort up front. And yet to score in the top flight in the first grade team. She scored 29 in the last 2 seasons in the 16s and 20s. So what can D'Amico bring to the Rosebuds in the front third? We will wait and see. Luena pushes it wide to Hogg. And now Chelsea Lucas. So D'Amico just slotting in up front in the centre of that 4-3-3. The front three attack of Adamstown Rosebud. So the throw straight to Elodie Dagg. Now pushed in towards the middle of the cross. Youngblood again getting a body in the way. Lucas to Dagg, squaring it up, and again Thornton doing well defensively. And Adamstown, they've had a couple of good chances. Chelsea Lucas and Josie Ray with the best of note, but it's been Thornton who have come closest. D'Amico, that's a good turn. And now Dagg dropping one up and over the top of the back four of Thornton. Josie Ray. Can she get away from her opposite number? Couldn't do so. And it will be a corner for Adamstown.
Josie Ray's played a whole life at Adamstown. She lives local. She broke into first grade last season, but she'll be keen to get on the score sheet this afternoon if she can. Good opportunity right there.
I've enjoyed watching her down the left edge. It's the ball into the middle, and the header from Cook is over the byline. Last off the Rosebud. Adamstown, 4 wins in their last 29 matches in the WPL, all 4 of them coming away from home. And I can tell you the last time they won here, July 2017, Maggie Quinn, who's a current player, she's not in the squad for this afternoon's match. She scored in the 6-1 win that afternoon against the Redbacks. So almost 2 years on. Are they going to break that drought, or a Thornton going to break an almost 2-year winless run away from home. Currently, very much up for grabs. And you sense we're going to get a goal. So many chances. And now Ainsley Childs has had her 2 penalties saved. Can she score from open play? It's a weaving run from Ainsley Childs. Goes to ground again. And referee Verity Norris says, get up and let's play on. Not a 3rd penalty. And now Chelsea Lucas. Some space against the far touchline. Things starting to happen at Adamstown Oval. Hogg. And now Dag. Away from Milton. Skip clear of the challenger Faulkner. She's done really well there, Elodie Dag. And now the deflected cross is going to bring a corner.
Good patch of play there.
The winner of
Both
the
sides
100 Club
making things
is
happen.
number 70, Kerry Garland.
We're getting closer to that goal
Kerry,
we were
if you're
talking
here,
about.
can you please come to the canteen? Kerry Garland.
Did you get in the 100 Club CT?
No, I missed that one.
Would have been an impressive record. Here's the free kick across goal, and Harvey's able to pour it away from goal. Mountford got ahead to it. Randall brought it down nicely. Couple of early touches, and then releases the ball here wide. And charging down the near flank is Field. Her touch is taking her over the line. It's a promising piece of counter-attack from Thornton. Jess Terry's touch lets her down. Slips under her boot. First year here at the Buds. Was at Football Mid North Coast last year. Now Elodie Dag. Numbers forward here. 4-on-4 for Adamstown. And somehow, boot stuck out from Lucinda Madison. Stopped the attack in its tracks. But they're coming back via Josie Ray. Recycle ball to Dag. Turn in the midfield. Finds Terry. And now Cook with the throw. In front of Ray. Alyssa Hall using her body well. Clearance wasn't a great one. Terry's touch was neither. And now Cook. Not quite on the same page as her teammates. Grace Harvey just attempting to take some time out of the clock. Not sure about that, CT. They'll all.
No, you don't want to take time out of the clock, especially when your team's had a couple of chances. You get it back in play, and
especially
get on with it.
Considering where these two are on the table. Files out of the equation now. It's all about the result, really. Build some confidence in the back half of the season. Childs to Milton. Very compressed, isn't it, in that middle third of the ground, CT. As Adamstown looked to use some width via Chelsea Lucas, who had a great chance earlier in this second half. Isabel Luena is pushed up the ground now.
You can see plays really settled in now.
Well, Riley Field has dropped to that centre-back role, and Luena up the ground. So Elodie Dag again just tried to angle the pass. It was that close to rolling through for Annika D'Amico.
Been impressed with some of the distribution from Dag. She certainly knows where it's got to go, and she's been getting it there on a regular basis.
Jasmine Hughes couldn't get the purchase on the pass. And Georgia Hogg up the ground. There is Elodie Dag, knowing exactly where it had to go, but not quite the weight on the pass. And CT, you've got to pick the player of the match this afternoon as well. I think we've had plenty to go off this afternoon. Olivia Snedden has got to be up there. 2 penalty saves. That has to go close to winning your player of the match, doesn't it? I know the end result is important to that judgment, but she's in the reckoning. Susan Randall for Thornton.
That's true.
Elodie Dag for Adamstown. The captain leading from the front. Sophie Milton, she's been quiet for Thornton. Young blood.
Chelsea Lucas has been solid this afternoon as well.
Mountford sees the run of Field. She will catch up with the ball. just beyond the shadows of the grandstand at Adamstown Oval. And again, just slipping over in the corner there. Behind the trees, it wouldn't get too much sun, so a little damper section of the field. Neat footwork down this near flank from Cook. Here is D'Amico, the Rosebud's leading goal scorer. Level with Chelsea Lucas, and she's looking for her teammate. And this pass has given Lucas too much to do, but she's able to hook it back across. D'Amico with a tap in, but she's offside. So Adamstown with a great chance, and it goes awry. Both sides with chances aplenty. It's not going to be one of those afternoon CT, is it, where it goes 0-0 at 90 minutes?
Well, I hope not for one of the team's sake. Anyway, D'Amico thought that was in, and fair finish, to be honest.
Tracking back is Ellie Cook, and maybe a little bit lackadaisical. Olivia Snedden, full of confidence, bangs that one into the stands.
And into my car beside the stand, I think.
Is that your car there?
Yes.
How did you get that seat? Oh, sorry. How did you get that car park?
I just booked it with the president a couple of days ago.
I wish I was as high profile as you.
Yes. It's just president of a different club.
Randall. Does she take on the strike? It's not a bad effort, but that won't trouble Olivia Snedden. You basically got to hit the corners to beat the Adamstown goalkeeper. She just launches it long, straight onto the boot of Madison. And now Chelsea Lucas as the ball bumped down the other end of the ground by the Rosebuds. Angling a run towards the box, looking for a teammate. Milton was mopping up for Thornton. Lucas tracking across to the sideline. Ball will sit inside the line.
Again, Lucas threatening, getting balls.
Now this is a decent ball, and Harvey just there in time, just beyond the two players running through, D'Amico and Dag for Adamstown. Luena is back into the back line for Adamstown. Randall. Wide it's played to Childs. Can she find Mountford? She's looking for her. Great ball from Ainsley Childs, and Mountford couldn't control it. But they'll get another chance here. Thornton via Jasmine Hughes, hooking it back into the middle. Finds Childs, and Snedden is out again. Well, I thought we were going to get a carbon copy of what happened before, because earlier in this match, Snedden absolutely levelled Ainsley Childs. I thought we were going to have another collision between the striker and the goalkeeper.
And it was a poleaxing, wasn't it?
An absolute poleaxing. I was just trying to think of something that I've seen similar. One was Eugene Galekovic on Emil Heskey about 5 years ago. Remember one at Hunter Stadium.
Again, Lucas.
Down the right flank. Can she find D'Amico? She was looking for goal. Good save from Grace Harvey. Thornton fans appreciating that. Both goalkeepers in fine form this afternoon. CT.
Absolutely, and again, Chelsea Lucas showing she's here to win the game. She's been threatening through the first half. She's been good through the second and keeps delivering. And on that occasion, gets a strike on goal. And a good strike it was, and a great save.
The corner kick, Harvey again, knocking it away. Riley Field was bearing down on the 18-yard box. And Thornton now look to turn defence into attack rapidly. Talia Mountford almost away, but Luena quickly across. Former Merriweather United player. Isabel Luena. Ainsley Child, she won't give up on this. In a foot race with Luena. And here's the throw-in going away of Adamstown. Referee Verity Norris, I thought she's done a terrific job this afternoon. Both penalties, fair enough. Really well officiated to this point.
She has done a great job.
Here's an offside.
And again, on the spot to get things right, so good on her.
And great to see. And if we can get as many referees from Northern New South Wales through to those W League and A League panels, that's outstanding. We know Steve Laurie from the NPL side of things is on the A League fourth official panel at the moment, building towards a spot in the A League. And maybe Verity Norris as a future W League referee, because there's a few of those now over in France for the World Cup. Kate Jakowitz, one of those. Just fantastic to see. Speaking of that, the Matildas in action tonight, CT against Italy, 9 p.m. Will you be watching? Should be a really good match, that one.
Yeah, really looking forward to that, Bart. Should be a great game. I think there'll be a lot of soccer fans in Australia tuned in, ready to go.
Here's Annika D'Amico down the flank, and now across goal, and well, it was Ray there at the back post. Josie Ray couldn't quite chime in for her second goal of the season.
Sort of ball when it's floated across, you've really got to commit through your stride towards the ball, and side foot is the safest bet. She just wasn't able to get there on that occasion.
Final 20 minutes now at Adamstown Oval. The money minutes. Still 0-0 in this match of the round on Bar TV. So Jess Terry has left the park for Adamstown now. Giving a brave up. And Piper Richards is out there now in 21 for Adamstown. Former Valentine Warners Bay player. She's been with Adamstown for 3 seasons. This is her 3rd season now as the ball popped over the top for D'Amico. Can she get goal side? Madison did well in the end. Maybe not textbook, but it did the job.
Well, it's good defending, but what she did well there was she got herself between the ball and her attacker. That's all you've got to do is just keep that distance, and they can't get to it. Just find the opportunity to get away, which happened, and great work from Thornton.
Mountford letting the ball run off her head into the path of field. And now Piper Richards with one of her first touches. She'll probably want that over again. Hughes in towards the middle. Luena. And then Cook. Looking up is Field, and Annika D'Amico attempting to turn, just bumped a little off balance. Now Riley Field riding the challenge of Randall. Lucas. Field. Here's the touch from D'Amico. Back to Dag, and the touch was too heavy. If she had that a little closer to the body, she could have just angled the pass to D'Amico, who could have rushed towards goal. So change coming from Thornton now. Libby Camp going on. Hughes for Canton. Now Cook took a deflection into the path of Ray. Josie Ray, she had a chance before to make it 1-0. Rolls the pass wide to Cook. Well defended by Madison. She's put a body on the line again there, Lucy Madison. She's been rock solid at the back for Thornton this afternoon, and here she is again. She blocked the throw inboard. Mountford. And now Dag. Field. Georgia Hogg back to Field, looking to play the 1-2. Instead, it's in front of Chelsea Lucas. Can she deliver a dangerous ball in? She opts to run it with the outside of the boot. Finds Dag, who fires at goal straight at Grace Harvey.
Again, Chelsea Lucas proving to be the provider. Adamstown might want to play her in more often, because she's certainly causing some problems for Thornton Redback in their defence, and she's on the ball again. Let's see what she can do this time.
She delivers the cross just in behind Elodie Dag. Milton's hooking clearance. That's really good first touch control from Jasmine Hughes. And clearance up the ground falls the way of Ainsley Childs. Been really impressed by her and also Jasmine Hughes, the two players who won the 17s grand final with the Redbacks last year. Here's a corner on the way for Thornton. Now, my question is, Chelsea Lucas for Adamstown, should she be played more centrally? Should she be playing as that central striker? She's got so much speed. I know Paul DeVitis is thinking about her crossing ability, but...
The things that I've been impressed with her is her decision-making. I'll get to that wide versus central position in a moment.
There's the ball in behind, and that's straight to Chelsea Lucas. On cue. Dropping back to do some defensive work. And you can see Annika D'Amico's playing as that central striker. Come off the bench in this one. They've got some arsenal in the final third now, Adamstown. They've got to use it. The two leading goal scorers out there. Remember, these two met in round 6, and it was a 3-2 into the Rosebuds. This one has had just as many chances, but neither side able, I should say, to find the basket. Or I should say what do you call it, CT? The goal?
The bag.
The bag, that's right.
The goal, the net.
Not the basket. I was scrambling for something there. I didn't want to say back of the net. It just gets a bit boring, you know?
Back to your question on Lucas, what's impressed me about her is her decision-making. So she's either been cutting inside, she's been going to the goal line. Where it hasn't been on, she's played back centrally or back behind her, and she's made good decisions, and she's angled her runs toward goals and even got a strike on, apart from the crossing that you mentioned. So she's had a really mixture about her delivery and her execution of what she's been going about this afternoon. So I would leave her exactly where she is. I understand your point. But in these positions here, again, just dropping and going.
Great 1-2, and then Lucas. Well, I thought she was at the Hunter Ice skating rink at Warners Bay because her feet just went out from under her there. Speaking of that, the North Stars, they're playing this afternoon against the Sydney Ice Dogs. The commencement of that about 4 o'clock. Anyway, here's the ball rolled through looking for Mountford. Thornton with the throw. You don't mind a bit of ice hockey, do you, CT?
Love it.
Stars.
It's actually an ambition of mine is to go to Canada and watch an ice hockey match.
Speaking of that, and come back to that after Susan Randall has a strike on goal, and it's off the bar again. Well, it's not third time lucky for Thornton, because that's the third time they've hit the bar and the third time they've been denied. It just won't go in for them.
You'd have to say that Adamstown have had the possession, but Thornton have had the chances, and how one of them hasn't gone in must be frustrating the coaching staff, that's for sure.
Chances flowing down the Redbacks end of the ground. And as we said, Adamstown, they've had their chances as well, but Thornton the better of them. No doubt about it. The Redbacks looking for their second win of the season and their first win ever against Adamstown in the WPL. They've never beaten Adamstown. And based on this afternoon's performance, they probably deserve to be in front. Josie Ray brings it down. Riley Field slices it off the outside of her boot in front of Chelsea Lucas. And the forward has got a bit of work to do from deep in her own defensive half.
And again, Lucas just doing what she had to do, just drop the ball off and go. She doesn't get caught in possession very often.
Remembering a draw this afternoon would be the first of the season in the WPL. Chelsea Lucas keeping the ball under lock and key. Adamstown again. It's been a common theme this afternoon with the throw. Down inside Thornton's defensive third. Final 12 minutes now. Round 13 of the Herald Women's Premier League. 6th versus 8th. Here's Elodie Tagg, cross goal. Too far in front of Cook and also D'Amico. It's that final pass that's letting Adamstown down this afternoon, CT. And it's the post which is letting Thornton down.
That's very true statements.
So Sarah Whitley. So this is her debut. First match in the Herald Women's Premier League for Sarah Whitley. Congratulations to her. And Talia Mountford leaves the park. Always great to see a debut.
Sure, isn't it? It's an exciting moment for the players.
Milton picks up the ball in the midfield and finds Whitley on debut. Field. Luena was a heavy first touch, almost allowed the Redbacks to pounce. Free kick going the Rosebud's way. She's playing it on quickly, Cook. Now through to D'Amico. Was there a handball there from Faulkner? Probably, well, it would have been a very harsh call because the ball was bobbling around there. Hand was down by her side. And now Dag rolling it through. Georgia Cook is offside. Scored once in the WPL this year. Actually back in that round 6 meeting against the Redbacks. Could she be the match winner here? She's down that left channel for Adamstown, which has been good. D'Amico in the middle and then Chelsea Lucas out to the right. And Elodie Dag pulling the strings through the midfield. There's Cook winning the ball in the air. Falls for Dag. Dishes it off to D'Amico. Neat 1-2 play between those two. And now Field chipping it up and over the top. Dag in a duel with Madison. And then Madison is able to win back possession from the Adamstown captain.
Go, Sarah, go!
Space ahead of Childs. Whitley is running onto the ball in her first match in the WPL. Well defended by Ellie Cook to knock it outside the line. Final 9 minutes now of the Herald Women's Premier League. 0-0. Almost fell there for Susan Randall. 2 goals already this season, and she's hit the bar on countless occasions this afternoon. She's hit the bar at least twice. 2 of the 3 strikes onto the bar coming from Susan Randall from Thornton. She'll be thinking, what have I done? Did she see a black cat or something like that? D'Amico goes thudding to the ground under contact from Youngblood. Josie Ray's pass was misguided onto the head of Georgia Hogg. And now Whitley trying to beat Hogg down that far side of the ground. Results in a throw. Speaking about pouncing, can the Redbacks pounce? Can a Redback pounce, CT? You've been telling Redback jokes on a few occasions this afternoon. Can a Redback pounce?
Absolutely, but I don't know if I saw one, I'd pounce a little quicker.
Yeah, so would I. Be running in the opposite direction. And D'Amico may have collected Faulkner there, and she has, so free kick goes Thornton's way. I've been joking around about draws the whole season, and the first WPL match I'm on this season, you have got to be kidding me, and we're heading towards the first draw of the season.
Well, there's been plenty of opportunities. We've seen the post hit a couple of times. We've had penalties.
I don't know how it's
goals.
I don't know how it's 0-0. I've got no clue.
Game's not over.
And Randall rushing through, and Snedden again. Well, this time it's Snedden who goes to the floor, and that's probably maybe just struck by an arm there from Randall following through. She looks to be A-OK. It was her dishing out the treatment earlier. Ainsley Childs, if you missed that, just at the start of this second half, I should say. Strong collision between the Thornton striker and the Adamstown keeper. It was strong. CT will attest to that.
Yeah, that's for sure it was. Deserved of a penalty as well. Minutes are ticking by. Not too long to go in this one, Bart.
CT, we've got people watching from Cambodia, so shout out to them. They're tuning in.
That's the beauty of Bar TV. You can be watching from anywhere on the planet, and welcome all viewers.
Ainsley Childs, that is a really nice turn. Squares it back to Hughes. Whitley. Hooking it across. calm as you like. Well, it was calm from Luena, and then she's hooked it straight up in the air. Should be a handball from Randall. Unfortunate, but it was a handball. And Snedden is looking to play on quickly. There's a sense of urgency about the Rosebuds. As you would expect, they want to chalk up their third win of the season and move 6 points clear of the bottom of the table. Strong challenge from Lucy Madison.
Let's have a look at the right side of the park. Lucas completely on her own. If anyone can get the ball anywhere near her, she's in.
Well, Elodie Dagg was looking up there, but the pass went astray. Attempts a little back heel. It was audacious. And Riley Field does spot Chelsea Lucas, but couldn't get the pass over there. Didn't have the power behind the ball. Holding up the ball really nicely was Susan Randall. Drops back into the path of Hughes. Takes them on and angles her run inboard. She was blocked by Cook. Now hits it solidly towards the centre of Adamstown Oval. Hall was in the wars earlier in the match, but has recovered. Now the deflection up and rolls into the path of Snedden. She's just got to launch it, doesn't she, CT? Whack it long. And Chelsea Lucas is going to have to deal with it. Faulkner couldn't. Madison could. And now Milton, she's given the ball away to Dagg here. The pass was just behind her. And now some work to do here for Cook against the edge of Adamstown Oval. Young blood. Now Richards. Neat 1-2, played by Field and D'Amico. Well, it was a touch, I believe, from Madison, which just took the ball to her goalkeeper. That was so critical. So critical. Luena read that well, and then the pass from Field is poor. Chipped forward by Childs, in towards Randall. Thornton are so close, aren't they? And now hits Childs. Here's Cant. A little bit of a pinball in the midfield. Randall looks up again. She's hit the post twice this afternoon. She opts to find Hughes. Just hammers it across goal. Childs beats a couple. And there's Adamstown players everywhere. And it's going to be a corner. Thornton, they've never beaten Adamstown in the WPL. And they won't get a better opportunity than this. Corner kick. Dying moments of this one. And Luena is down for Adamstown. It's been a seesawing contest, this one. Are we going to see a winner? And CT, next week, next Sunday, the next match on Bar TV, Edgeworth Eagles heading to Charlestown. Actually, I'll say that again. Next match on Bar TV, Tuesday night, Hamilton heading to Maitland to take on the Magpies. Round 7 of the FFA Cup. I will be there with someone. It won't be you, or it won't be Smudge. It'll be someone else. So we're looking forward to that. And then Quentin will be on the mic on Wednesday. Edgeworth playing Valentine. And then we'll be back next Sunday for Edgeworth and Charlestown at Lyle Carr Oval.
Both big matches during the week for the round of 32.
And looking forward to the round of 32 this year. It's going to be fascinating. We're going to have a new club. It's either going to be Hamilton or Maitland. Michael Bulch against his former club. Got to love that. Here's the ball into the box from Hughes. Hit the back of someone's head on the way through. Randall is going to let it run onto Faulkner. And this should trickle over the byline. Another corner for Thornton.
Both of those clubs, Hamilton and Maitland, coming off big wins yesterday. Valentine, however, had to work a bit harder for those, that despite the scoreline being 7-1 in their favour. But they didn't have it all their way early.
See, so I've just got a shout out here. We'll just wait for this corner. A Thornton persuasion. Hangs in there for Susan Randall. Paul Boniface, he says he's Ali Field's grandparent, watching from Montpellier in France. How good is that? As D'Amico in the centre circle.
We love it. Big shout out back because we love having you on board. And as I mentioned before, that's the beauty of Bar TV. I'd love to be in France at the moment, Bart.
Well, I will be in France in 3 weeks' time. I cannot wait.
Well, maybe you guys can all catch up.
I hope the trip's going well, Paul. Wish you the best. As charging forward are the Rosebuds. Here is Field. Time on the volley. She decided, well, she was put under pressure. She couldn't shoot. Chelsea Lucas. She steps on the ball in the end, and Thornton clear it away. So much urgency from both sides. The critical minutes now of this round 13 match in the Herald Women's Premier League. Two sides who have only won 3 matches between them out of the 24 they've played. They're not used to winning. And it's looking at the moment like neither side is going to get the 3 points, but there's chances at either end. Some pressure being applied on the Rosebuds, and here's a corner kick. Thornton fans rising in voice. It hasn't been their afternoon thus far in the lower grades. Adamstown winning all 3. Sad news for Isabel Lavina. She has headed off the park. Isabel Lavina. Here's the corner kick, and it was Youngblood there. She scored back in round 2 against Merriweather, and she almost had the winner there, the tall centre-back, the captain. So Olivia Snedden powers this one off the knee of Josie Ray. And now Hughes comes up and over the chest. A strike from Whitley, who's on debut. What a debut that would be in the top flight. Well, here's a free kick for the Redbacks. Susan Randall has gone to the turf again. CT, currently, who is in pole position for your player of the match? Are you going Olivia Snedden or are you going Susan Randall? Snedden has saved 2 penalties. Surely that gets you player of the match.
Well, she's actually caused one of them, but she saved 2 good ones. For me, I like the look of Chelsea Lucas, the way she's gone about her game technically. Positionally, she's been very good, and she's made good choices, and she's caused a lot of problems. And from the coach's perspective, I like the way she's gone about her business this afternoon.
So Hughes with the free kick across goal, and there's the winner for Thornton. Better late than never. And it is 1-0 to the Redbacks, and it is Sophie Milton who scores her 2nd of the season. And how important is that?
So no scorers, scored by number 4 for Thornton. Makes her score Thornton 1, Adamstown 0.
And Thornton, are they about to win against Adamstown for the first time in WPL history?
What a terrific finish that was. Totally intentional and just put it where it had to go. In the end.
And let's be honest, they deserve the lead, CT.
Well, they've had the better of the chances. I wouldn't say possession necessarily, but doesn't matter anymore.
Well, it's a history-making afternoon at Adamstown Oval. The Redbacks, they record their first win over Adamstown in the WPL. And it's taken until their 15th meeting, but for Thornton, it's a huge result, and one which hauls them off the bottom of the ladder, potentially, depending on other results. Adamstown, their wait for victory at home goes on for another week. They'll look to end that drought next week against Wallsend. Full time at Adamstown Oval. Adamstown Rosebud 0, Thornton Redbacks 1. And CT, Thornton, for the first time in almost 2 years, win away from Thornton Park.
Well, you just heard the emotion and the energy from the Thornton crowd. They just went absolutely ballistic when that goal was scored and right through to the final whistle. And now they're a very, very happy camp, and so they should be. They've had plenty of great chances. They weren't able to capitalise on them, and in the end, a terrific finish put them in front. Great spectacle of football, great oval, and really enjoyed ourselves.
CT, I want to ask you player of the match. Who are you going to give it to? Olivia Snedden, 2 penalty saves, but surely it's got to go the way of Thornton, doesn't it? They were just so good in that final third, creating chances, maybe not finishing them off, but chances. They were outstanding.
Yeah, look, I'm going to give Chelsea Lucas a mention here because, as I said, I won't harp on about her, but I've liked the way she's gone about her distribution, her runs. She's mixed the game up. But I think it's hard to go past Randall from the Thornton Redbacks. Right from the beginning of the game, she set her intention clear. She got forward. She's, as you call her, a pocket rocket, but she certainly made herself known, and she made her presence known. She was a big reason why they were getting plenty of opportunities on target. And in the end, she's certainly deserving of that title. But I think the team overall will be very, very excited about coming away with a win after such a drought on what is a great effort from them this afternoon.
Well, their bid to avoid the wooden spoon has been given a significant boost this afternoon, Thornton. They go to 6 points on the table. An outstanding result, confidence boosting for them. Chris Turner, it's been a pleasure to be alongside you for the WPL this afternoon. Thank you for joining me at late notice.
No, loved every second of it, Bart. Can't get enough. Thanks for having me along, and thanks for the viewers, especially our international guests.
Exactly. Well, Cambodia, France, everywhere this afternoon. Thanks for your company. Until Tuesday night, remember, Maitland against Hamilton, 7:30 in the FFA Cup, and then Wednesday, it's Edgeworth and Valentine, same time. Until then, it is goodbye. It finished Thornton 1, Adamstown 0.